Well, with a few months off to go and build a wall of death, the weather's improved. We're back on the secret garage. Come on, Furze, what are we doing? Finally, after what seemed like the longest and wettest winter ever, I'm back on the secret garage project. With Tom and the digger coming tomorrow, I've got to make safe and cover up what we've already done. So, with the roof exposed to what we've done, we need to put a wall across here, protecting the gas, the water and the electric pipes. Now, this is a huge project, so if you're not subscribed, you should be.
I can't tell you how weird it feels to be on this project and it is sunny and I'm warm. Amazing.
We also took the time to take up the block paving blocks so they don't get chucked away, because the neighbours having them.
Okay, so we've got a nice solid walkway now so we can get to the gate or do some flossing. And then tomorrow, we've got Tom coming in.
Wait a minute, Colin. Explain what you're doing first. I think we need the model.
So, over the winter, I got this bit built, but over the summer, I'm hoping to now dig the rest of it out. Now, we can't dig it all out in one go, which of course would be very useful, because the house is going to sit right on the edge of the hole. So if we dug it all out in one go, we risk the front of the house falling off. We don't want to do that, so we've got to do it in 3 different sections. Now, the first section, which is what Tom's going to do now, is this part of the room. So this is the first part of the room where it actually drops down a little bit deeper, because when the car lift comes down, I want it to sink into the floor so it's all flush. So we've got to go a little bit deeper with this one. So we need, of course, Tom Lamb back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Tom Lamb's back. Back again.
Okay, come on, get on with it, you two. Again, but this time we're in front of the house, which means at some point we're going to find the foundations.
Whoa!
And when we did find them, what a shoddy bit of brickwork. As the hole gets bigger, the true scale of this project really hit me. Of course, digging through solid rock is pretty hard going, and you don't just need a bucket, you need a jackhammer too to smash it up. But the top surface is pretty soft, so placing the digger near the edge of the hole has its dangers. So we moved our aluminium tracking right up to this point so we could get near the edge without falling in. And you can see this was a wise move. Progress was good. The only thing that stopped us was food. We had pizza.
Pizza!
And then my mum brought Tom a cake.
Diet's going well, isn't it?
And then the ice cream man turned up.
Oh, Tom, just let go of all the levers on the digger.
Hello?
What are you getting, Tom?
A large.
A large? You were on a diet half an hour ago.
This is just the best day ever!
Shake, shake, shake. Now's the time to take that leap of faith. Woo! Right head up, right at ya. Green trees will make it get better. White rabbit, enigmatic. Time to spell some magic.
Right, we're about dug out, but there's some little bits in the corner which need chimbling away, which we can't get to with the digger because the house is in the way, essentially, or there's a hole where the digger needs to be. So how are we going to do that, Colin? Well, don't worry, Tom has a fantastic idea. Lower the smaller digger into the hole, which then led to Freddie having an energetic conversation on the phone in his native language. I don't know what he was talking about.
M'għandix ċans biex niġi, narak għada. Mux dal-ħodu, no ċans. Bekan ġimata narak kelmet kollha.
Open your mind, or don't, that's fine. I'm taking my sweet time, rowing my boat downstream. It's not personal, it's just my flow, and that's how I like to roll. I'm a diva in a cloak of gold.
digger in the hole, we'd tidy up all the bits the big digger couldn't reach, and anything left over, I'd tackle manually. The remaining spoil lifted out, it was just a case of tidying up the edges, cleaning it out, and then of course covering it over so nobody falls in it. And there we have it, the room is bigger. Now, a message from our sponsor. If you're lucky enough to go on holiday while walking across the beach, are you fed up with missing sporting events or not gaining access to subscription-based services from your own country? Well, if that's you, you need Surfshark VPN. Now, Surfshark isn't an actual shark, it's an app which you download on your mobile or your computer, and it acts as a safety barrier between you and the internet. Keeping your computer safe is just as important. While you're on public Wi-Fi, it encrypts all your data so no one can gain access to your computer and steal all your passwords. And the great thing is, you only have to download it once and your whole family can use the same one account. And if you use Surfshark before you go on holiday, you can book excursions as if you're in their native country, getting them at local rates.
So I know you can't all be a shark, but you can get Surfshark with the offer at the link in the description. And here I am in a tropical climate, in a shark suit, I'm boiling hot.
Yes, go to surfshark.com/Colin for 4 months extra free.
What was I doing in the actual video now?
So with the bulk of the hole done, it's time to clean up the edges, chimble away the bit of house foundation which sticks out, which will be in the way if we leave it there, then with just a bit of edge cleaning with a nice clean hole.
Okay, nice and flat, nice and square. Next little job, bit of damp proofing, bit of framing. We're doing it slightly different this time. I'll explain afterwards.
So I did a couple of welds and something didn't quite feel right. Turns out I've washed my welding jacket. I've drunk the blooming thing. Never mind.
Time to get up, let's get ready. Washing my head, need to focus on the hollow spine.
With the floor frame set out and level and where we want it, time to add a bit of damp proofing and then of course add the much important rebar, which is much easier to put in when there's not a floor in the way.
Okay, rebar's in, beautiful job. Now, next thing we need to do is put the concrete down, but of course the concrete, we only want it to go where we want it to go. So effectively, I've made like a little pond. Now, I didn't want to pierce and do anything unnecessarily damaging to the bottom damp-proof course, so I've added a little extra little bit, which I've folded up, whacked a bit of Kingspan over the bits of rebar which poke through it, pushed that underneath my little edge beam, folded the extra bit of polythene over the top, and then welded these little taggy things on to stop it all blowing out. And essentially we can fill that up, and that will be the first concrete base done. And then of course we've got to get the concrete down here. Normally you'd fire it onto the roof. We can't do that because if we fire it down all the way from there, all the aggregate shoots to the bottom. So I've made this wonderful little chute.
Now, with concrete pumps being expensive, I've got a bit of 6-inch underground pipe, put a chain on it, and then made this little clampy thing which goes over our cover, clamp that on, slide the pole down it, hook it on the little bolts, boom, stick a traffic cone in the top. Oh, the concrete man was impressed. This is the FURZE concrete chute.
Yes, nice.
Look, it's controllable, look, we can angle it. Are you impressed with that?
I am, yeah.
Then with the mixer fired out, it comes straight down the tube and straight out the end, and it looks, well, you can see what that looks like. Anyway, bit of vibrating, bit of more plop plop, plop plop plop, all done. Spread it around and smoothing it off. Job done. Then once it's cured, remove all the Kingspan and the extra polythene, then grind off the little pegs which held our rebar in position while the concrete was being poured over it. Chop off the extra bit of metal we don't need now. Oh, we've got a lovely floor. Well, we got half of it anyway.
Right, that's set, beautiful, but we're doing it differently this time. We're going to put the sheets on top. We're going to drill holes and plug weld them where we can't get to the edges with the welder, because obviously you can't get underneath it now. Stick some down there, put an upstand up. I've done all the mesh in here, and then we can have a second layer of concrete. Now, we're going to need some more sheet down here. Last time we precariously dangled it on some straps. I've got a new tool.
Ooh, slow motion! Plasma cutting! I didn't mean to film it in slow motion, but I did. Sparks everywhere, looks real nice, but it slows the video down. With the sheets cut, while Charlotte was there, I decided to put the rebar in. Yes, I hate rebar. I really hate rebar. Although, to be fair, this is much easier putting it up before the walls are up.
Disheveled with a gun to his head or a thorn in his ego, he's trying to win the confidence of his own insignificance. Covers what I shoulda, coulda, it won't make a difference when you're crying for your mother if I won't.
Okay, floor's done. Next off, to put the wall up, we've got to put this RSJ in first. So basically I've cut all these little slots down there, slotted it in there nicely, kind of like tucked it in. Now that is defined by where this next RSJ comes across here, and this is where we check if we've got the room parallel to the house. So basically I'm going to put this, extend this other one out across here, measure it to the house foundations, although they're a bit wonky, but we'll do our best. And then we can fix that to that, get that level, and then that will tell us where our wall needs to be. So we need to pull this RSJ up to here. Now I was going to do it with a telehandler, but I can't bother to go and get it. So I've rigged my winch up outside my front door, and I can winch it up myself. This could go horribly wrong. Yeah! Did it, didn't I? Right. Level the RSJ up, see where it comes to, and see if it's in line with the wall down there.
So with it all welded up, it's time to do the other side. Now I went and got the telehandler this time, which means you've got to lift the lid off, and then we lower a beam down. This is way more easier than doing it by hand, Colin. And it's just a case of getting it all set up and welded up. And now with this RSJ in place, we've got something to put the wall up against. So we get the sheets across, we get the 50mm box section, clamp that on, weld it up, voila, we've got a wall.
Right, that's got one of the walls up. Now, rather annoyingly, I've had to do this bit separate down here. I thought it was going to be one full sheet with a little bit cut out, but Colin's gone and added 4 centimetres onto something somewhere, so it's not quite high enough. But it doesn't matter. It's all good, because you won't see that. It'll be under the floor. Right, that's that one. Got to do the other one, and then we've got some more concrete coming tomorrow. Lovely.
So, with the wall beams set up, solid, welded up and vertical, and the concrete poured into the floor, we can't do any more until we've got a roof. Now last time I put my swag bender on my little fabrication table and did it outside the kitchen door, but this had its issues as bending things up into the sky in a tight space just caused problems. So we laid the electric one on its side on the lawn. Why didn't we do this before? I don't know. With these beams put up and fixed into position, it's then for me to climb down and clean up the edge of the existing roof so I can lay the sheets down and weld up to them. These have got quite messy and Tom had bashed them quite a lot with a digger. On the face of it is a simple job. We've basically got some beams going across, which I call ribs, with just some sheets on the top of it, which you just weld together. but you have to keep your eye on everything. You have to make sure that everything is level, squeezed up in position, and not going all wonky. You can't just go and weld one side up without checking the other side, or else you'll end up welding in a problem that you're never going to be able to get rid of. So, although it's simple, there's a lot of bashing and fiddling about. And then, of course, you've got the bits that Tom Lamb's whacked with a digger, which I have to turn into like a car bodywork person and pull out. But it's all good. Afterwards, grind it off, smooth it off, you'll never know. And once finished, my front door becomes a lot safer. Then the final structural job is to set the patterns up, which the RSJ goes across. And then bring the RSJ across and weld it in position. Now this is the bit where I sat down to tell you everything's lovely. It's level, it's fixed on, beautiful. Just got a bit of foam insulation board to put up the side because I've got some concrete coming. But old Colin's flicked his camera to slow-mo again, hasn't he? He's even filmed himself getting an ice cream in slow-mo. The wall concrete is done in 2 stages. Once up to halfway up the wall with some 45-degree bracing, and then once we've got the damp-proof membrane laid down to halfway down the wall, we can then fill up the rest of it. Then the last job is to clean up the mesh, bend the edges of a bit of rebar because this is going to come up across the roof and eventually will go across the whole thing. Weld this in position and then seal it up, ready for concreting.
Right, that's got that shuttered off. I've made sure this time to put plenty of 45-degree stanchions up against the plywood because when I did it last time, I couldn't believe how much it bowed with just so little concrete behind it. Just goes to show how much mass weight concrete's got to it. With the rebar cut to height and the top rings added, that is the final bit of wall complete. So if the end's sealed up, the last concrete is booked. We've got Chris Bibby here again. Not sure if you caught his name in the last video.
Why have you got a white t-shirt on?
Yeah, it's too hot. Yeah, white t-shirt, probably not the best of ideas, but they are.
And then once that's set, it's just time to move the sheet across and do it all again and dig another section. And with it nearly dug, I had a brainwave of how to solve one of our main problems while digging.
Now, one of the problems we've just got this last bit of corner here to chimble out, but Tom can't see what he's doing. But we've had a brilliant idea. I'm FaceTiming him so I can film the rock face and then he can see what he's doing. It's working very well. What about that? You want to be coming in here? Tilt your thing in a bit. That's it. Go down at that. It's like he's playing a computer game now. It's your concentration face.
And in 2 minutes of video, 1.2 metres of room has been added. So where are we in the grand scheme of things then, Colin? Where are we at?
Okay, we're now up to this point in the model. The next part we dig out is the bit where the car is going to come out at the top. So when we dug this, we don't need to build a roof on top of it. Now, hopefully, we can dig it all the way out to this, and this will be the final dig. However, the weather has severely turned on us.
Now, it's looking like 2024 is going to be one of the wettest years we've ever had in this country. And yet again, it is raining and it is having an effect on this project.
We thought, do we delay it because of the weather? But then we thought, no, we just got to get on with it anyway.
Now, the weather may have been terrible, but we've got a new weapon.
This thing has proven very useful. Thank you very much, Rhinox.
It was working so well, it was steaming. And then the weather got even worse.
This probably is the worst weather we could have chose for this. It is absolutely hammering it down. Collapsing at this speed.
So watching from inside, I thought, can I control the digger with my mind? So, with the digging nearly done, I think it's time to give 3 cheers for Tom Lamb for his work on the digger. I had a little go at lifting the last bits out, and you want to see my concentration's face. But this has not been your regular digging job. You've got to be millimetre perfect up against the house. He's had gas pipes and water mains to negotiate. Yeah, he's clipped the steelwork a few times, but I think he can be forgiven. So, if you want to go over to Tom Lamb's channel, give him a subscribe. It doesn't matter if you're not interested in farming videos or anything it does. It's just a note of thanks for saying thank you for excavating the colinfurze underground garage.
Oh, this is a big room. Oh, it's a big room. Yeah, it's a little bit like a tent. When you chuck it on the floor, it looks really small. When you put it up, it's massive. That's Colin and his drawings. I've literally just drawn the whole of my front garden and go, that should be big enough. And now I'm looking at it as a massive room. Oh, it is big enough. It's huge. Now, rather annoyingly, this isn't quite all dug out. We're about 400 mil short. We haven't been able to dig it all out because, of course, it's not just digging the hole. You need to be able to cover it up afterwards so nobody just walks straight down into it. We're at the limit of the lengths of wood that we can buy safely to cover it up properly. So we've probably got about another metre to dig out, just the width of Tom's bucket. But anyway, we'll do that another time. Now, before I talk about the next stages, I want to get a nice little bit of concrete floor now, so I feel like I can explain things a little bit better.
So, a bit of mesh on the floor, a little bit of frame to weld the floor to, a little bit of mesh up the side. What do we need now, Colin?
Now we just need some concrete, but not a bit of concrete, a lot of concrete. Our record before was about 6.5, 7 cubic metres. I've worked this out, it's nearly 10. This is a full Chris Bibby load.
I've been kinda cooped up, I don't mind it. At the same desk makes me feel excited. I've been trying to hold off my assignments. Gone and running over the no up environment. But she been on my mind, son, I can't hide it. Gone here, blow, I so inviting. I'm getting bored of hangovers and
Oh, this is so cool.
Now that looks fucking
Okay, so this is where the car comes in and out. There's a lot of confusion when obviously I first started building this and I put a roof on it over there. Everyone was like, Colin, how'd you get the car in and out? Where's that going to happen? It's going to happen here, dead in line with the centre of the lounge window. Now, I can show you a car in this position. I can do it on shape. You can project your 3D models on it. Fantastic. That's what that's going to look like. Car's going to sit there. Now, you can see now why I didn't want to dig this all out in one go. We had to do it in 3 sections because the house is literally teetering over the edge of the hole. This is the most I would like to dig out. Even this is even risking it. Okay, next part of this project, we need to finish building the roof. But the RSJ work going across this bit where the car comes out is slightly different. I've had loads and loads of RSJs dropped off by Newark Steel. Thank you very much. They are the suppliers of the steel for this whole project. Now, because this is an opening, we don't have any of these big steel beams going right across the gap, so we need to kind of add more strength into this bit in front of the lounge window. So rather than one of these beams coming across here, there is going to be 2 of these beams going across here. Now, this back wall, we spoke about having a window here, didn't we? So you could see through and see the rock behind it. Not going to do that because I don't want to interrupt the shell of this thing and have a hole where moisture or anything or any other problems can come in. So I'm going to do it slightly different. There is still going to be something there. I'm going to talk about it on a second channel video. Keep your eyes peeled because I may need your assistance on this.
So the next step is to finish the walls and then start covering it with a concrete and getting me drive back. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one.